Connie. Connie knows you. It's Connie's time.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Well, in case you don't know who I am, I'm just going to say I'm a native of Carteret County. Yay! And I've worked as an oral historian, a folklorist, singer-songwriter for the National Park Service, the North Carolina Maritime Museum. I've even been the archivist for Core Sound Waterfowl Museum. And they survived that, by the way, and that was good. And I've been a children's librarian for the Cherry Point Library and also the Webb Library. And I've packed fish. And as a teenager, I worked in tobacco. So my mother says, you know, I can't keep a job. So I don't know how that goes. But anyway, I have performed in many venues, including the 2004 Smithsonian Folklife Festival, which some of my cousins came to, and I got pictures to prove it. And I was the recipient of the Brown Hudson Folklore Award from the North Carolina Folklore Society. Yay! And I have recorded 3 CDs, one of which she bought years ago. The original and traditional music, and Calico Creek Waltz is one name, and Christmas Quiet Harbors, and I got each one of them here, and Bogue Sound Watermelon Blues. But most importantly, and as Karen will tell you, the most important thing is I am the firstborn of Rudolph Mason from Stacy, North Carolina. You give them a round. Now, this is going to be a seasonal program because I had to work in Barbara Dawn's Christmas songs, or else she came to the last program and said, "Why didn't you sing that song?" Because her mother is from her mother's book. And so I said, I insulted her. She was mad. And so I have to redeem myself today that way. But anyway, the first song I'm going to do would be February, okay? February, we celebrate Mardi Gras in Gloucester, North Carolina. Now, Brian and Barbara Blake spearhead this event, and their Cajun Zydeco band called Unknown Tongues, they play with other musicians, and musicians come from all around the country for no money because they just have a good time. And there's dancing, and then there's a parade, face painting, jewelry making. I mean, you know, it's just a wonderful, it's a community event. In fact, one of my friends was a professor, and she said, "This reminds me of the 60s. And the other musicians would come and play, and we would dance and eat and drink, and then we, just like washing your hair, we repeat the cycle, okay? And so I wrote this song called Mardi Gras in Gloucester. Hope you like it. It's Mardi Gras in Gloucester today. We'll have good times and a big old parade. Suck crawdads' heads, eat their toothpaste. Drown our sorrows in Dublin. Chardonnay. Me oh my, what will I do if I can't find my dancing shoes? Me oh my, what will I do if I can't find my dancing shoes? It's a Mardi Gras hullabaloo with dirty rice and Dewey too. It's a Carolina barbecue washed down with jars of homemade brew. Oh, me, oh my, what will I do if I can't find my dancing shoes? Oh, me, oh my, what will I do if I can't find my dancing, oh, Lordy, my dancing shoes? It's Mardi Gras in Gloucester today. We'll eat good, drink Beaujolais. Unknown tongues and their proteges make this party go. Oh yes, go flambe. Oh my, what will I do if I can't find my dancing shoes? Me, oh my, what will I do if I can't find my dancing? Oh Lord, my dancing shoes. Thank you. Now we're going to skip to June, and that's Father's Day. Now I have written a song for my dad called Stacy, My Daddy's Hometown, but every time I've done a parlor talk, I've sung that song, but I wanted to let you know more about the character of my father. My father was a character. My cousins can swear to that. And but he was very intelligent, very smart guy, and he was a redhead, and he loved to tease his youngest children, which was me and my sister at that time. And I wrote this wonderful article about him and kind of give you an idea about what he was like. It's called The Great American Snowdown. Growing up on Crab Point on the southern shore of the Newport River was a great experience. But the where is not as important as who you grew up with. My father, Rudolph Mason, was a downeaster with the region's signature dry sense of humor. As a redhead, it was his job. It was his job now to irritate and tease little girls who thought they knew it all. One cold, dark night when I was 10, I flipped on the porch light to call our cats indoors. To my delight, it was lightly snowing. Now, snow in Carteret County, as we all know from an early age, paralyzes transportation and, more importantly, closes schools. I gleefully shouted to the entire, household, "It's snowing, it's snowing, it's snowing." Everyone ran to the door to evaluate my meteorological assessment. My sister Pam was greatly encouraged. That school attendance seemed doomed. My mother said, "It's a very wet snow." And my daddy said, this is the killer, "That's not snow at all. They're just picking geese to South River." Try as we might, no amount of arguing with our 8 and 10-year-old logic could dissuade my father that it was not someone picking geese to South River, but it was truly, truly snowing. "See, it's cold, it melts, it's flaking." I'm sure he was so pleased with himself for keeping us riled up that night and for days to come. And to delight in and remember that moment, every time it snows in Carteret County, someone in the family will say, "That's not snow, they're just picking geese to South River." It's our way of saying, "We love you, Daddy, and we miss you." Thank you, thank you. Try to compose myself here now. Now we're in July now, okay. So we've come from Father's Day to July, and then 4th of July we had the shrimp festival. How many went to the shrimp festival? Let's see hands. Oh, you missed a fabulous time. Come next year. Come next year. Come next year. It's at Harker's Island, at the Corsound Waterfowl Museum in the yard, and the best baked goods, and they usually have the Marine Corps band, but this year they had a wonderful bluegrass band, and you missed a good treat. So anyway, and it doesn't matter that it's going to rain, because if Karen Aspacker puts on something, it'll start out raining, but it'll quit, because God is scared. She's in the back.
Okay.
Now, The one thing that you can't miss in July is the favorite food you grill out. You have a picnic and fireworks, but you have to have what? A watermelon. And we got a famous watermelon here in Carteret County, the Bogue Sound watermelon. Okay, it's famous. On Highway 24 between Swansboro and here, that's where you get a Bogue Sound watermelon. Sweetest watermelon you can ever hope to have. And now they've made a co-op out of it, and they're selling them all across the country. And it's got to have that sticker that says it's from here. But did you know that when the Menhaden boats used to be out there fishing, and if it wasn't the season just yet, they would wait outside on their boats, on the Menhaden boats, waiting for the crop to be harvested. And they'd get the harvest, and they put them on the pogie boats, and then they would take them up north if they were from that area. And, Boston, they know all about the Bogue Sound watermelon. Now, when I was growing up, and I do have to say this because you won't believe it by what I'm going to tell you, but I grew up Baptist. And one thing we used to do is take our watermelons to Shackelford Banks on 4th of July weekend, put it in the water, and let it roll in the surf and get nice and cold. Okay, when I went to college, we didn't have that option, but we would take our watermelons and inject it with Everclear or vodka. And but as a good Baptist girl, I didn't do a whole lot of that. But anyway, and then in this song, the last stanza has a warning that my mother used to tell me about eating watermelons. But let me tell you, okay, I wrote this song 20 years ago. I was playing the guitar better. I was experimenting with different tunings and different kinds of chord patterns and stuff. And so this year I thought, I ought to pull that out. That'd be a good one to sing with a seasonal thing. And I had 2 months to practice. I couldn't find those chords for love nor money. And I said, well, I have got to sing this song because it's just too important not to. So we're going to scat it. We're going to, instead of playing the guitar. And so can we do some finger poppings? Watermelon, watermelon, fruit of the vine, taste so sinful, your color divine. Must have been you in the garden that time when Eve swayed Adam that the Lord wouldn't mind. Watermelon, watermelon, yeah, 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 watermelon, watermelon, yeah, watermelon, watermelon, yeah, yeah, yeah. Tiny little tendrils up the tree they did climb. Ba, 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 ba. Roll it in the water, play it like a ball, inject it with a needle and fill with alcohol. I like my melon shaken, not stirred, chewing on the seeds till my vision gets a blurred. Watermelon, watermelon, yeah, 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 watermelon, watermelon, oh my Lord, watermelon, watermelon, yeah, 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 my sobriety's shot, but my kidneys are cured. Georgia's got her peaches, sweet but days too. Florida's been sun-kissed by Walt Disney, it's true. Leavenworth and Quentin both have famous felons, but Bogue Sound has got its mighty watermelon, 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 yeah, 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 watermelon, watermelon, good watermelon, watermelon, yeah, 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 eating bogies with my pogies, it's the best ever been. La-da-dee, la-da-dee-da-dee-da. Their rinds can be pickled, canned or freeze-dried. Their seeds can be sown or spit, even deep fat fried. Da-da-da-da-da. Ham bone is sweet, bacon very good. Possum fat is mighty fine, but I surely wish you would cut that melon hanging on the vine, and give me my cold glass of watermelon wine. A watermelon, watermelon, yeah, 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 watermelon, watermelon, good watermelon, watermelon, yeah, 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 lovely pink and sweet, it sends a chill up my spine. Now here's my mother's advice. Eat your melon on the porch, never in the bed. Never swallow melon seeds, my mom always said. They'll take root inside you, sending out their shoots. And then before you know it, you'll be bearing baby fruit. Watermelon, watermelon, yeah, yeah, yeah. Watermelon, watermelon, oh, good watermelon, watermelon, yeah, yeah, yeah. Eat a box sound watermelon, except no substitute. I'm glad you all like that, and you did a good finger popping. Good finger popping.
Is that why I see all these signs, vote watermelon everywhere? I've never had it. Oh, yes, I should try.
Before you leave Carteret County, you can go to Friendly Market, I think, or do they have them over there? Friendly Market.
Well, selling them all up and down the road.
But it's got to have that sticker that they got to belong to the co-op, or else you don't know what you get. Okay, so that's good. Well, now I got the privilege to be asked by the most important person, legendary person on Harker's Island, to write music to her poetry, and that was Emma Rose Guthrie. She was born in 1933 on Harker's Island, one of 14 children, and she's known for her poetry. She loves Harker's Island, and she loves the lighthouse. And her love for God and Harker's Island has kept this 91-year-old energized more than most. She could outrun me. I mean, you know, she gets in a boat, climbs in and out. Doesn't matter, you know. She used to cut her own grass until up to 2 years ago. And she's Harker's Island royalty. And so we worked for some time on this poem. And this is the 7th iteration of it. And I hope you like it. But it's her story and it's her poem. And she just loves that lighthouse. Now, let me tell you. Our old lighthouse stands so tall, watching over us, one and all. It's been standing amid a host of stars, and is a dear, dear friend of ours, and is a dear, dear friend of ours. God gave our light with all her grace. No other light can take her place. Soul saved from death in darkest nights, when they beheld her bold bright light. Our old lighthouse stands so tall, watching over us, one and all. It's been standing amid a host of stars, and is a dear, dear friend of ours, and is a dear, dear friend of ours. We climbed her steps when we were younger, but as we aged, those days were numbered. Our loved ones helped and guided our helm to view our beloved and most treasured realm. Our old lighthouse stands so tall, watching over us, one and all. It's been standing amid a host of stars, and is a dear, dear friend of ours, and is a dear, dear friend of ours. Surveying the waters, I love the blue sea. So many memories come back to me. I see all my friends as we were then, and with grateful tears wiped away by the wind. Our old lighthouse stands so tall, watching over us, one and all. It's been standing amid a host of stars, a dear, dear friend of ours, and is a dear, dear friend of ours. Near that old light we would play ball all summer long until late in the fall. Our skin was bronzed by long hours in the sun, but we didn't care, we had so much fun. Our old lighthouse stands so tall, watching over us, one and all. It's been standing amid a host of stars, and is a dear, dear friend of ours, and it's a dear, dear friend of ours. She'll continue to stand there by the sea, a banker's pride for all folks to see. Those lovely diamonds of black and of white, thanking our God for his beautiful light. Our old lighthouse stands so tall, watching over us, one and all. It's been standing amid a host of stars, and is a dear, dear friend of ours. Thank you. I wish she was here today, but she says she lives in Arkansas. She says, "Well, we come to town on Wednesday, Connie. I'm sorry." So, but she did come for one time, and so I appreciated that effort. But now we're in November, and what holidays in November? Thanksgiving. That's right. And you can't have Thanksgiving in Carteret County without an oyster roast. All right? Right? Oysters, you either love them or you hate them. There's no middle ground. Oysters are a part of this culture and tradition, and it's just not Thanksgiving, Christmas, or New Year's without an oyster roast. Now, eating oysters requires a basic ignorance of oyster anatomy. because without this knowledge, an oyster just looks like a hunk of meat. Okay, but until you know different. And unfortunately, the teachers in Carteret County, while everybody in America in high school was dissecting a frog, we dissected an oyster. I learned what he ate and where it went afterwards, and I was not happy. And but I since then have learned to eat it, and I couldn't eat my oysters for years. And then Jeannie Krause found this poem in Mollusca magazine. Anybody subscribe to Mollusca magazine? And Jeannie worked with me and Joanne at the North Carolina Maritime Museum, and she found this poem and gave it to me, and it's an anonymous. But I changed it just enough so if somebody did say, "Oh, I wrote that," that I said, "Well, what did I change?" So anyway, I haven't had any problems since. But it reminded me of my experience of learning what an oyster had. Now, first I want to do a survey on who here loves oysters. Raise your hands high. Everybody look around.
I'm allergic, so I can't.
Oh, okay. I'm going to sing this song, and then we'll take another survey and see if you still feel the same. Okay? Well, tonight I ate an oyster and a stew of mud and butter that he was a-floating through. Ate his heart, his liver, his gill and his fluid sac, his teeth and his capillaries, the tube along his back. Well, tonight I ate an oyster and a stew of mud and butter that he was a-floating through. Ate his brain and ganglia, his nervous system central, his stomach and its contents, his muscles to the ventral. Well, tonight I ate an oyster and a stew of mud and butter that he was a-floating through. I ate his pores and fleshy foot intestines, large and small, his other glands and tissues, quite devoured all. Well, tonight I ate an oyster and a stew of mud and butter that he was a-floating through. Oh, dear host, the meal was just perfect, a real delight to sup. Please show me the bathroom, my oyster's coming up. Well, tonight I ate an oyster and a stew of mud and butter that he was a-floating through. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Thank you. So you're not missing anything. So that.
Well, I'm only allergic to mussels, like muscellus it's called, but I can eat shrimp and crab.
Oh well, good. You're okay then.
My grandfather always delighted in showing me when he was eating an oyster and it had a little crab in it.
Oh yes, the little pea crab. Her mother, we gave all our little pea crabs to her mother at the oyster. It has a little. It's called a pea crab. But I'm not going to eat anything that looks like it could come up out on his own power, up to my, so. Yeah.
I'll take the pearl.
I'm still eating.
Yes, sir.
I'm from New York State. I'm still eating them.
All right. How many here still loves oysters? I
I
forgot the survey. There you go. Good job. Well, December, yes, sir, Barry.
Barbara cannot enjoy oysters fully.
Oh,
She finds a crab and good oyster.
all right.
And we have an understanding. I get the oyster.
Okay.
I get the crab.
You get the crabs.
Okay, if there's a crab, it belongs to me.
All right, Barbara.
Poor little crab.
Oh, no. He's steamed. Well, we're in December now, and December is my birthday. And so thank you. I had just entered my 7th decade. I started to say defecation, but it's decade of my life. And there's a traditional song called I'm 72 Today. And but I'm not 72, I'm just 70. And so I wanted to sing this song. I learned it from a fellow in Juan Cheese, and he sang it without accompaniment, a cappella. And so that's what I'm going to do. And I revised it to reflect my time in my life. And here it goes. I'm 72, I'm 70 years today, me lads. They say I'm growing old, but I feel as young as I used to feel. My heart beats strong and bold. With aches and pains my limbs impale. I'm getting old, 'tis true. So trot your horse while you are young, and walk him till 102. You see, we gals, when we went out to spend our nights in glee, drank whiskey, wine, and beer, got tight, but none of that for me. When I was young, I used to sit in then some live oak grove with a handsome boy, I'm on his knee. I tell him of my love. I'd place my arms around his neck. I'd hug and kiss him too. I think I'd enjoy it all over again, although I'm 70 true. Okay, this is Barbara's time now. Her mother wrote a story called The Last Summer from her book, Carteret Love Song. And it tells a story about a doll named Sally Ann. And so I wrote this song using her as my inspiration. And I'll tell you what, the gist of this song, to me, it's the most important song I've written because of the story that it gives. You know, the love of your parents, you know, the faith of a child, and, you know, knowing love can do anything, you know, and that's what this song is all about. So here's a doll named Sally Ann. I haven't played it in a long time, but Barbara, you'll forgive me. Born on K banks between Back Sound and the sea, Mary 7 now in an ebbing century. The August storms this fall of 1899 has her worrying, will Christmas come this time? And Mary dreams for a doll named Sally Ann, hoping love can do what nothing else can. The fishing's poor, but Ma and Pa shelter her. We'll eat salt fish, they do reassure. Ma hangs the Christmas star and Pa sets the tree. Mary prays Santa, don't forget my family. And Mary dreams for a doll named Sally Ann, hoping love can do what nothing else can. While Mary sleeps, practiced hands begin to sew small clothes from quilt scraps of calico, transforming tow sacks with love and fishing twine from common things into a dream's design. And Mary dreams for a doll named Sally Ann, hoping love can do what nothing else can. Ma stirs the embers as the sun begins to rise. Mary wakes and wipes sleep from her blue eyes. She does not dare to move, for she is not alone. for her longed-for friend has found her island home. Now Mary dreams with her doll named Sally Ann, knowing love can do what nothing else can. Knowing love can do what nothing else can. Mary dream, Mary dream. And she's a writer too, not only her mother, but she is wonderful too. Her books and her mother's books are here in the store, so when you get a chance, go down and buy one. It's great. It's great stuff. This song has never been heard by anybody but maybe Karen. I think I sent her a copy of it. And 25 years ago, the talk station in Morehead City, I used to go there and do voiceovers for commercials, and the manager at the time, his name was Shane Willis. And he came to me one day and said, I've written a poem, and I would love for you to sing it. And it was to a tune of a classical tune, and he told me the name of it, and I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and if you've seen my house, that piece of paper is in there somewhere. I don't know where, but it's in there somewhere. And so I have never sung it for the public before, but I think it's a mighty powerful song, and I hope I can do it justice today. And he did not get to hear me sing it because he died in 2013. He was a young man. And so it's called Where I Will Spend Christmas Day, and it is really beautiful. I go down to the sea where a boat waits for me, and everyone knows my name. Candles lighting up bright the dark Christmas night. Come down east for Christmas, we're glad you came. And the Cape Lookout light shining through Christmas night lets me know I am home. From the Sound to the sea, I'm so grateful to be in a place I can call my own. Children longing to see presents under the tree. Any packages there for me? It is good to be home. No more will I roam, 'cause down east for Christmas is all I need. Down in old Beaufort town, Christmas spirit abounds. Then it's on to Otway. Harker's Island, you see, is so special to me. It is where I will spend Christmas Day. So if you're looking for Christmas down by the shore, it is not far away. That's why down east, you see, is so precious to me. It is where I will spend Christmas Day. It is where I will spend Christmas Day. Thank you, Shane. Now this is the last song. You can clap for that. Let's see. Zoe, would you hold up something for me? Okay, come on. This is a poster over here, and you don't have to hold it just yet, but you be ready, okay? You just stand right here and hold it to yourself right now. Don't show it yet. Don't show it. Okay. Okay. She's going to be so sorry she can't. But that's okay. The Boojot is the national anthem of Harker's Island. Now, Harker's Island is not a nation unto itself, but they want to be. And they are proud and independent people, part of that Shackford Bank stock that we all know about, and it's sung with great pride at community gatherings even today. In 1922, the federal government decided that liquor had to be regulated, and it should be only used for medicine, not knowing how many sick people were up and down the coast. And so they had it out for these people who were importing this liquor. Okay, the Adventure was the name of the boat, and it was coming from the islands carrying a load of illegal booze. Now, I used to say just Boojot and move on, but somebody asked me, were you speaking French? I said, I can hardly speak the English, much less the French. But anyway, and they had booze in king lock stopper bottles. And this is what a king lock stopper looks like, It clamps around its neck, and they were put in pads of hay, and the pads of hay were stored in burlap sacks. I'm going to break my beer bottle. Here, hold that for me, cousin. Thank you. And so they were coming around Cape Lookout, going northward, and they were riding low in the water. You have to remember, this was before World War II, so there were no radios on the boats, and the Coast Guardsmen happened to see this boat riding so low in the water and going around the Cape and going so slow, they said, maybe they're in trouble. So they got in their boats, and they were heading toward that boat to see if they could assist. Coast Guard, always vigilant. And so when the crew on the Adventure saw them coming, they said, oh my God. So when they tried to run, and they really got stuck on the shoal, okay? So what they did was, to lighten the load, they started throwing these bags over the opposite side of the deck so that the Coast Guard couldn't see them. Hundreds of these bags of illegal liquor. And so it got light enough in the boat that they did escape, and so the Coast Guard never saw them. Okay, these bags floated just underneath the surface of the water. You couldn't see them. But the next day, our fishermen went out to fish their nets. Now you have to remember that these are God-fearing, law-abiding, hard-working, thirsty fishermen. And when they pulled in their nets, the most beautiful brown burlap fish you'd ever seen in your life was in there. And there was a big party 2 weeks in Carteret County because the Boojot had come ashore. Now, those that had sold to those who had not, so a lot of personal fortunes were made. My father got a shotgun. And then 2 people actually went just to college because the Boojot had come ashore. They made money to go to college. So anyway, that's the story of what it made, the importance of the Boojot to this community. Well, Ivy Scott, a fiddle player, and one of the people at the school, they wrote these words. Now, they wrote the words to the tune of the Sidewalks of New York, just to make all you New Yorkers feel at home that the national anthem is based on, no. The reason why it was the Sidewalks of New York is because Al Smith was running for president. He was the governor of New York, and he used that as his campaign song, Sidewalks of New York. So they set this tune, the Boojot, to that, just to make you feel at home, okay? And but this was made famous by Ivy Scott. He was a wonderful fiddle player. In fact, I think in the store here might be some recordings of his playing. He was excellent. He could sing and tap his foot and, play. And he played hours on end at dances out on the Cape and everywhere. I mean, he was a phenomenal person. But in the song, the Beehive is a store, and it was Cleveland Davis's store on Harker's Island. And then up in G's mean up in greens or up in the money. And I sing this one. This is the Graydon Paul Revised Standard version that I sing. And we're going to ask you to sing the chorus that Zoe's holding right here. And because they felt like it was a national anthem, we want everybody to stand. Okay, and because it's kind of a waltz, what? Oh, she's so good. She's so good. Back up a little bit there.
Back up a little bit. There it is.
Okay, so this is the chorus, and I want y'all to sway. It's a swaying kind of song. Go in the same direction or I'll get seasick, okay? Go this way.
I sway without being
You don't have to be Asbury, you just sway. Okay. Down around the Beehive, Harker's Island retreat. Every night and morning, oh, the fishermen would meet. One day there came a rounder, come rushing by the door, saying, boys, let's go to Cape Lookout. There's a booze yacht run ashore. This is the chorus. Here we go. This way, that way, to the Cape they run. The coming of the adventure put the fishing on the bum. Some folks lost religion and backslid by the score. When King Lock stoppers they stood ace high, when the booze yacht run ashore. Now times have changed since those times. Some folks are up in the G's. Some folks, they are down and out, but most feel just like me. Some would give up all they've got, and some a little bit more, to see another time like that, when the booze yacht run ashore. Okay, real big this time. This way, that way, to the Cape they run. The coming of the adventure put fishing on the bum. Some folks lost religion and backslid by the score. When King Lock stoppers they stood ace high, when the booze yacht run ashore. Very good. You are great singers.